What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Strike the Blood episode 13. And not only was this episode a really good way to start a new arc, but it was also a funny one. This episode definitely made me laugh quite a bit. So it starts off with Sayaka and La Folia. They're at the airport because La Folia is finally going back to her country now that the whole, situation with Kano has finally died down. But she actually, sees this little, announcement thing going on about the Halloween Festa. And so she gets really interested in it. And Sayaka, to make her more curious about it. And we see that when she starts looking through these pictures, she definitely wants to attend, but she knows that she has to go back. And Sayaka even said that she had postponed her return trip twice already. But when they actually, go to the plane, something weird happens, and they actually teleport from the airport, and they actually go back to the dock, I think it was, where they fought all those like mechanical spiders or that ancient weapon. So that right there, really confused me because I thought that maybe La Folia had a plan where that she could possibly stay there, and I thought maybe she like used some kind of trick to teleport them, but it seemed that that right there wasn't her fault. So we actually go now to Kojo and Yukina. They're on the train, they're heading to school, but it's like really crowded. And we learned that like everybody is taking this Halloween Festa like very seriously. Like people are really getting hyped for it, and they are definitely looking forward to it. And we see that there's this young girl on the train, and Kojo thinks that it's a molester. So when he goes there, the train actually stopped, and as it opened, somebody grabbed his hand, thinking that he's the molester. But it turns out that this person that had grabbed him, it was actually Yukihina and Kojo's little sister. I forgot her name, but Nagisa, I think that was her name. I forgot it, but I think that was it. It was her homeroom teacher, and the student that he saw, it was actually Natsuki, because she had heard about all these girls getting, molested on the train. So she was investigating by like wearing this school uniform disguise. And like Kojo said, it definitely looked great on her. She definitely fits the part of a student very well because of her small frame. And it was definitely funny how Kojo, treats Nagisa and Yukatina, more the teacher than he does not Natsuki. But we see that like Natsuki actually gives Kojo like this warning, or it's like this hidden message that he left to figure out. So that right there, made me wonder as well, why would she say that? But the next day, he actually meeting an old friend of his named Yuma, and this was a person that he played with all the time. And we have everybody, meeting up to greet this person, or to greet his old friend that's coming here. Like originally, he only wanted Nagisa, Yukihina, and Kano to be there, but Asagi and Yazi or Motodi, he also came there as well. And so when they all see her, they actually very shocked to see that she is a girl, because they all thought that she was a boy, but it turns out that she's a girl. So now we have Yukina and Asagi, like they're all kind of jealous a little bit, just because of the way they were acting, because Yuma definitely was not holding back her affection for this. And so they actually go around a little bit, they explore. But then we have this like one scene in the cafe where we have Yukina, just staring at Kojo, and Yuma definitely noticed this. And even at the at some tower they were in, where they were like overlooking the city, Yukina is afraid of heights. Apparently, that right there, I really don't remember them saying, but apparently she is. And so we have Yuma looking at them, but Kojo like comforts her and gets her to join everybody else. And we have Yuma thinking that they're dating, just like we have her teacher that also thought they were dating as well. So these two, even though they deny that they're together, there is definitely this strong bond between them that they had yet to realize. But afterwards, we have Sayaka like calling Kojo, like telling him about what happened, and then we have Asagi and Makoto. They also get this message as well about how something had happened. So like their date together kind of got ruined, and so now like now they have to figure out what's going on. But at the same time, they also have to make sure that like nothing happens to anybody else. So we have Yukina now watching over Kano. Oh, and we also have Ashwati, that little girl, because like for some reason Natsuki actually disappeared and nobody know what happened to her. And so because of that, Ashwati next mission, it was to protect Kano. So now now we have to figure out what happened to her. But we also have these two sisters. I believe they were called the Meyer sisters. They were like these two powerful witches that had like attacked these group of men. But the thing is, their power was so great that it was impossible for them to be using a familiar. But I definitely believe that they have a familiar powerful for them to wield, and I believe that it's like a kraken, because clearly that right there would definitely have enough power for them to use it. Because we just saw that they basically killed everybody, and they actually wanted Natsuki, so it would make sense that they went after her. But I do wonder, why would these sisters want her? Because they even said themselves that it's been 10 years since they had been there, so it's possible that Natsuki, she might have chased them off in the first place. So I'm definitely wondering, what's the connection between them? Like maybe they're triplets or something, and Natsuki could be their sister as well. But I'm definitely wondering, like, why are these sisters back, and how come they want Natsuki? Because that right there definitely got my interest. I want to see, where the story goes. So now we have, Kojo, Yuma, and Nagisa. They're together. We have Yukihina, Kano, and Ashwati together as well. And basically, Yuma, basically Yukihina will actually fine with him, with Kojo and Yuma being alone, because they probably have a lot to catch up on. And I believe that Yuma and Nagisa, they were making dinner or something, and they told Kojo that he could go take a shower first. But Yuma said that him and Yukina, they actually smell the same. And I'm wondering, if it's like that because he had drunk her blood. Because that right there, would make sense. Or maybe it's because, they have deep feeling for each other, that they could possibly smell the same. But when he goes to take a shower and he opens his door, he actually finds himself, in another bathroom, because we see that it had that same trippy effect that we saw earlier at the beginning of the episode with La Folia and Yukina, and he actually, and Sayaka, and he actually finds himself, in the bathroom with Kano and Ashwati. So that right there, definitely made me laugh, because her reaction, it was just so priceless. But I do wonder, what is causing this? Because, it's just so weird and random. But afterwards, he actually goes to Yukina, where he actually, confesses and admits, what happens. And so now they're trying to figure out what is causing this distortion. But we see that, it doesn't happen again, because he's able to go home where he opens another door with no problem. But here's where this episode, gets really weird and confusing, because he actually goes to get a cup of water, and Yuma appears out of nowhere, and she's wearing this very revealing outfit, but it's just her witch's costume for the next day, because that is when the festival is going to start. And right off the bat, you can see that she's kind of weird. It's like something is off about her. And I also noticed that right away, it's obvious that she definitely likes Kojo, but she was worried that Kojo only saw her as not a girl, because she was so tomboyish back when they were kids. But as this countdown is going on, which leads to the Halloween Festa, we actually see that she's moving very close to Kojo. And normally this right here is obvious what's going to happen, and Kojo is so lucky. It is every girl that we see in this anime, he is able to get her. And I'm not gonna lie, that right there makes me very salty, but at the same time, Kojo is my boy, so I'm not gonna hate that much. So right at the end of the countdown, they actually kiss, and we see that like this entity or being like in armor actually appears behind Yuma, and I definitely knew something was off, but I wasn't expecting what was gonna happen next, because now we have like Yuma and Kojo's body, and Kojo is now in her body, because when he wakes up the following morning, because after their kiss, he actually passed out, and we hear that that he sounds very different, or I mean he actually feels very different. So when he goes to the bathroom, and he like feeling himself, he's actually in Yuma's body. So now I'm wondering, was Yuma ever in her own body, or maybe it was somebody else? Because why else would she do that? And that question, that she asked, if it feels still like her, even if she wasn't human, I'm definitely wondering, what is she exactly if she's not human? Because that right there definitely made me curious. But like I said, overall, this episode, it was definitely good. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. But as always, guys, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy. I'll see you all next time.